All right. Well, welcome everybody to this really exciting presentation from one of our key volunteer partners at Golden. They are just a joy to work with, I can tell you that much, and have an amazing solution as well. I'm pleased to introduce you to Quan. He's going to be your guide for the next 30 minutes or so. This is one of the partners that we spent a good amount of time with when Sky API became available for Altru and Blackbaud CRM, and they seized the opportunity. So if you are a Razor's Edge customer, a Blackbaud CRM customer, or an Altru customer, you're going to want to stick around to hear this exciting session. So with that, I will turn it over to Quan.
Well, thank you so much, Heather. We're excited to be here and to be a part of BB Dev Days. I hope everyone's having a fantastic first day again, as stated. So hopefully this session here will be very informative and valuable to those, exploring volunteer management solutions, levels of integrations, and greater automation tying back to the Blackbaud suite of CRMs. So furthermore, I wanted to introduce myself here. My name is Quan Nguyen, Director of Enterprise Sales and Partnerships on behalf of Golden. So really looking forward to sharing with you, walking through our platform today and how this could potentially seamlessly more integrate your systems, your constituents, all of that, in enriching and increasing that level of enriched volunteer experience. But a little bit about me first too, as I walk through, a little bit of slides here, and I'll walk through essentially our platform and providing you multiple levels of experience here across that. So a little bit about me. Prior to my life here at Golden, I worked and led for Omatic Software, which is the largest nonprofit cloud integrations platform and one of the largest tech partners for Blackbaud overall. So you may have been using that, as those RE users or not, but and familiar with that. But I essentially led the national healthcare care markets business segments there. But here at Golden, so I really understand the value in API levels of integrations and having that real-time 360 accurate, clean data that ties back to your CRM to create more meaningful engagements, appeals, campaigns, all of that, which ties greater the fundraising and volunteer businesses together. So just wanted to provide that little background, and I'll keep moving along here. But for those who maybe not be as aware of Golden today or not, as Heather mentioned, we're one of the premier key partners there from a volunteer management solution for all things Razor's Edge, and also BBCRM as we've launched, and Altru. So those are key things to consider, as those are you're on the developer side or not. We have those native integrations today that will identify duplicates upon import. We'll talk through that and map those accordingly into the Sky API. But really, Golden really began in the beginning as basically we wanted to remove the barriers of entry and engagement for all those who were from any background, looking for discovering opportunities to serve in their local communities. So, in doing so, we had key accolades and been recognized as the most award-winning volunteer management platform out there. That's how we began. So through our simplistic design and user-centric interface, you really touched upon that and really provided that level of value and experience out there. So just wanted to call that out first of why folks are using Golden today to drive that level of increased signups, attainment, engagement, and through our automations and integrations, that deeper levels of time savings for return on investment. So it's really filling gaps or enriching Blackbaud's sort of CRM suites today that may be providing a different option here that you may want to explore. So because of those native integrations, I think that's important for anybody that's running these programs or not, or on the fundraising side to really consider too. But we have had really close relationships with the Blackbaud team in developing these key sort of, again, APIs. Okay. Again, this is just a quick snapshot here of why Golden here has been recognized from that, as we led with a social impact app of the year for Facebook, Time Magazine, Gates Foundation. All these things have been recognized too. And as I get further into this, obviously I want to keep time, this really at a high level of what we're going to talk about today. So I want to be able to leave the last 5 to 10 minutes for questions, and also moving us into our expo room or not for additional conversations. But really, I just wanted to ground us to why volunteering is important. Through any nonprofit social impact organizations that we help serve, and for those, again, just to give us a high level view, Golden out in the world helps serve 20,000 organizers worldwide. In addition to that, we help serve grassroots organizations onwards up to multi-chapter national ones and onwards up to UNICEF International and everything across the board. But volunteering is important, and we look at this as not a silo level of programs. We really want to join that level together and make it more cohesive on administrators and organizers globally. So within that, we see that volunteers have become more of that level of meaningful points of engagement and donor itself. And we want to open up more accessibility so they can have a centralized platform, a portal for those to greater engage with your mission and work. Okay, and they ultimately become, really more, again, meaningful donors at the end of the day. So it's really important to have this level of integration. And this is sort of a quick high-level snapshot here of sort of what we entail of an organization using the Golden platform and the multiple portfolio or properties that we have within, then tying it back to your central system today, which is going to be somewhere in the Blackbaud family. Additionally, the data here that you'll see as I'm providing snapshots before I get actually into the Golden platform, this is where the data will hold essentially within Razor's Edge NXT. So you'll see it's going to land in the constituents, but how we're tracking that in various other tabs too across that environment. So again, these are just snapshots here of how we're going to update constituent information, how many times that volunteer is engaged, the hours tracked, all of that. And this is another snapshot and screenshot here of what we're doing today, which is a very, very recent launch here over the last several weeks within BBCRM, which is important for many of those at this conference. And what I'll demonstrate over the next, 12, 10 minutes or not, and leave the time for questions, answers, or excuse me, questions and all, is essentially we'll be walking through a branded levels of volunteer experience and the portal itself, which is going to be tied to whatever website organization you may be tied to. Additionally, you'll have an admin dashboard that your team there is going to be managing all things and having various levels of insights to that data, which is ultimately confidently also pushing into all the Blackbaud products that we just mentioned there. Okay, so I'll save this for later here, but I'll come back to that. I'm going to switch screens a little bit. Thank you for bearing with me here. So I'm going to get to the heart of things here and walk us through some demonstrations here. So typically we start off with, let's say, one of our key partners today is March of Dimes. Most organizations, or many, will have different points of navigation across the website and driving volunteers to that level of engagement, whether it's a get involved area or maybe it's a link within here. Essentially, you'll have this level of experience next, which is what we call a branded volunteer portal experience. So this is powered by Golden here, and we work with various folks from, again, single location nonprofits and social entities to multi-chapter nationals such as these, and key aggregators like United Ways and areas like Hands Planet here, and Charity Navigator as other national aggregators that are working with other partners. So I'll plug for my internet here as it's catching up. You'll see here we have different portals that I'll be bouncing around between to kind of demonstrate and present sort of what Golden can do today. This is our regional aggregator, key partner of ours. Going back to here, I'm going to take you through here is first and foremost our product here is which occurs that way. You can see here it's quite easily for folks compelling here for folks to basically better understand and clearly understand what to walk into, what time it is, and how to grade or sign up. Okay, so there's lots in our portal here that I'm gonna walk us through, from basically those having the visibility via list view, or potentially within here as a calendar view. And I'll show you a couple other things from other key partners of ours too. One of them here being the Greater Chicago Food Depository. You'll see things like in their calendar view of what you're able to have here as that part of that experience. You can highlight certain things. You can also have a dynamic map view. This is important for those who might have different levels of multiple sites, maybe, you know, opportunities in different areas. So it just creates that more of like streamlined approach. And again, as I walk through here, there's other things you can add to this portal that's going to have your custom branding, your elements there that you're working with. From here, you're able to see that we can add language capabilities too. We can also add custom URLs here. Like I said, this one that ties back to a nation page. You're going to see it all being really cohesive from the branding and look and feel. So it ties back to essentially that journey that one starts with, you know, that particular organization's website. And from here, we're able to, you know, lean into what Gold is specialized in, is promotion of these opportunities, creation of these opportunities from an admin standpoint, and tracking and reporting on these, and again, tying it back to whatever product that suite you can have within Blackbaud to do more comprehensive reporting, because that essentially is housing your central level investment, but also your full constituent view and understanding. From here, though, and you can see we can also set reoccurring shifts, or you can do virtual ones, singular, episodic, it doesn't matter. So I just wanted to call this out because it's already kind of built. And you could have key links in here through that, so you can embed wherever, maybe it's on partner sites, maybe it's on communications, or maybe it's within your website itself too, to drive that out. So we're not here to display certain processes or things that are, you know, working well for you, but we're here to help, you know, open that up further if needed. Okay. As I keep walking through in the interest of time, I'm going to share with you just other key highlights here, how one can basically come within here, create their name, all these key things, and their information. They're going to, you know, and then it allows you, the administrator here, to essentially ask additional key questions as you'd like to. So this could serve as an intake form that we've seen if you have a multi-step thing process. So you know, we really want to help you know, you streamline that process further. And from here, you're also able to tie things to maybe other organizations or corporate groups that you may be working with. So this is one way that we can track levels of affiliation you'll see on the back end. And through this sign-up process, we don't force also any level of signups. We can set that as a requirement should you land on this page initially or not. But it's nice to have is when you create an account yourself, our portal here will dynamically shift to change as a part of maybe what groups that you're targeting for or what groups you may be in. So just wanted to call that out. But when the sign-up process occurs, just wanted to share this with everyone here. This is what you can expect. And I'm popping between multiple sandboxes here. But you can see I've already created an account here, and it's pre-populating my information here. I'm going to be answering just some questions there that's asking me whether it's skill sets or whatever that may be. And if waivers are important, and I'm sure it is for most organizations to the ones we work with, this is an example here of how we would, you know, digitally have them accept that and have that a part of their record there. And once that occurs from an acceptance point or not, you also have the ability through their golden platform, as we have embedded, our background checks. So if that's important for you, we have that too. And what you'll also note is what happens after that sign-up process is folks will then be put on preset, pre-built automated email tracks, beginning with sign-up confirmation at the top. So you no longer have to manually consolidate all this, you know, send those emails out or any of that. We can help really streamline that level again, enrich volunteer experience. And you'll see through the sign-up confirmation that once that opens that up, and this is not verbatim of any level of copy, this is a sample at a high level, but that will basically allow folks to get a copy of what they've accepted as well for those PDFs of waivers that I talked about. Okay. And before jumping to the back end too, I just wanted to step back here to where our portal lives here. Is on the left-hand side here, you'll note there's plenty of ways that you can help filter, or one as a volunteer or potential participant can better understand your programs. So you can look at this as tagging and and filtering basically based on programmatic, location, or however groupings, or however you want to look at it. So let's just say I wanted to look at all things indoor. This would dynamically change. In addition, if I were also to sign in here or not, this could also change based on what groupings I'm in or what location I'm at. So this will always change. But what we have, at least here, are public-facing opportunities, which will also show in the back end that you can create private lockdown ones for certain ones, folks that have maybe made it through some level of vetting process or have certifications in certain areas that they would need to have access to these opportunities. So just wanted to call that out. So we have this portal here again, just before I move into the back end. And as we go into the back end here, in the interest of time, this is essentially the golden back end dashboard. Again, just want to reiterate, all of our products here are mobile responsive, so it doesn't matter what device you're on. Okay, and from here, you're going to see that snapshot of what I have here to begin, obviously from the insights of how we're tracking participants, completed sessions, aggregate hours, and state-by-state monetary value of those volunteer hours. So it doesn't matter if I'm in New York, California, Washington, Florida, it doesn't matter. We're able to capture all that for you. In addition, you'll see also additional analytics here to the portal itself of what we showed you. So these are the two main properties. Again, what I'm talking to is this admin dashboard and the volunteer brand portal that you'll be able to get the golden level of license here. But this will be able to provide all that here. And what's great here, you can segment this data in any way that you'd like, from date range to programs. Maybe it's host of affiliate groups that you have, opportunities, teams, all these key things. And I'm just using this here, All Stars, and you have this real-time data here to basically give you a nice snapshot of that level of impact. But again, all this data here that you're looking at will essentially integrate seamlessly in real time when one, as a participant, takes some level of action and registers, or any level of action tying to volunteer, pushing over to NXT, BBCRM, Altru, all of that. So I'm happy to have our colleagues speak to you. We're over in Expo 2, but and also I'll leave some information for as a contact thereafter. But I'm going to keep moving along here as we keep moving here. Share with you that this is essentially how you're also going to be able to look at all your participants within inside of who's engaging and how we're capturing that. There's ways to filter here. If I were to go deeper into here, I can see that Steve has multiple levels of impact and investment here. How we're tracking that, I can add them to certain groups. I can append his hours. I can append his information. All these things, and how we're whatever data that we're seeking to capture as upon sign up is going to live here. So biographical data, additional information, and maybe custom questions that I've asked of him through that intake process or skill sets, it'll start to show up here. And if he's passed the background check, motor vehicles check, we all have that here. This will also show Steve's levels of engagement. So from the levels of engagement here, you can see that Steve will kind of track his hours, his engagement, and all this again is constantly pushing over to whatever Blackbaud system you have. Okay, and other groups that Steve may be a part of. So this is important here as I'll walk through real quick what the overview here of what we can expect to from an admin standpoint, organizer standpoint. Again, you have your own potential view here from a calendar. Not only do the volunteers do, but they have it here. So you can see 8 out of 10 folks coming. In addition, you can message folks here on the fly at any time saying, oh, hey, you know what? It's raining outside. We need to move this into the gym. Use this gate code. So there's ways we can do that. We can add SMS messaging, all these key things. Again, we have deep embedded links here that you can push out to your social media sites, partner sites, all those key things, or embed that back in your website itself. And where I'm driving to next is essentially we have this quick 6-step wizard here that allows for to easily build out these opportunities. Okay, just going to bounce around here. And I'll call out a couple things here. You can see in this first step here, and it's really, again, once you build these out and learn to, as a part of the implementation with our team, it really takes about 90 seconds, 2 minutes to do so. And if thereafter, you can also just create master templates that your broader team can pull. So this is great if you have a, a multi-chapter or sub-accounts or other team members from different locations working in concert to do so. But it's really just walking through the build out of these. You can see it's just an intelligent workflow. You can add key additional links here if needed, whether you have an LMS level of training videos or other things like that. You can embed those here, or maybe it's a handbook. But here's what I wanted to talk through is when you're adding in key groups here, you're going to see that whatever group you decide to target or not, you're able to put basically privacy settings on them and that tie back to the portal itself. So those are things that either can be open to the public or private there. As I go forward here, step 2, in the interest of time, keep moving forward. So you can see here, I'm just adding in this information. Again, I don't have to recreate the wheel each time. I can just, do a clone, save as, duplicate. But here's where I can add tags. So you can create different tags here that are then going to show back up here through our insights through your levels of reporting. So this will help you, whether, again, if you look at it from a programmatic standpoint, location-based, all those things. And I'm going to keep moving along of, hey, this what it looks like from, hey, adding in a physical address, or hey, we have essentially virtual components or things like that. So because this is already built, there's other ways that we can talk to this too. So I just wanted to outline that. And you can see here, oh, hey, because this is already on a reoccurring set of shifts, it doesn't have to be. It can be a singular event, virtual one, or an ongoing one that people can log their time. And I'll show you that real quick as I'm bouncing around is if I were to have my own account, when I log into, let's say, whatever organization that may be, I can see within here, and this will have that brown look and feel at the top. I can see my lifetime hours here. I can see what upcoming ones that I maybe have engaged, or re-registered for. I can add it to my calendar. I can share this link out in whatever way. But what I wanted to call it is I can also log time ongoing too for those level of opportunities. So that's what but I can also see here completed sessions. So this is my own particular account here, and I have access and I can control this level of data if I'm the user participant itself. Okay, but I wanted to keep going here. And you can see post-registration information here. You can add essentially a nice little note here that ties to the broader automated emails that we're sending off. You can upload as many waivers or NDA forms as you'd like. You can control the guest settings here. Okay, we can set minimum age requirements. We can do all kinds of things. And again, we can embed background checks where we look at all national databases. Motor vehicle checks. This is the type of information here that you're able to capture. Participant demographics, okay, and also other key things like adding additional questions and document collection to that sort of registration process. Okay, and you'll see here that, oh, great, I can add in additional imagery, all that, and voila, this is what you have at the end result of what we saw in the end portal. So it's as easy as that to create these things, and really why folks are choosing Golden too is it's incredibly, again, user-friendly here. And we have the user in mind when we created this level of platform for ease of use. And I think that's one of the biggest proponents here of why folks are leaning, or really leaning towards as a package the raised NXT and Golden sort of solution holistically. And that's why we've extended our ability to serve into the BBCRM and Altru markets. And you can see here, you can create spot reservations, you can see who's coming, who's signed what, so you have this visibility, and you can also launch a kiosk to basically start the time clock, and it's as easy as checking folks in or out as this. And again, just to reiterate, all of our products are mobile responsive. So it doesn't matter where folks are or whether, what platform they're using or, whatever the device, we can actually account for all that. So that's what starts the time clock. And again, all this data here that's going to be capturing, whether it's from a participant level or not, you can export at any time. And there's so much more in here too. So there's a lot of things we can do from user permissions, but we can add in different levels of sub-accounts here, chapter base, and all that network effect can tie back up. And even if you're not a standard location or not, maybe you're United Way, again, we have ways to help aggregate that data further for you, and also working with our broader golden network. As an example here, you could curate basically other opportunities to your particular portal in your site and all of that. Which that's my internet here. But these are other organizations that are on the golden network in different markets here that basically you can recommend, and it'll then show up on your site too, if you're running more of like that aggregator style of model. In addition, we have day of service. So there's plenty here as a part of different options and packages that we can help serve for. So I just wanted to call that out. But that's really a quick run through there of the golden platform. And both, again, what you'd be gaining here through some level of, we'll call it branded portal, okay, that people would typically land on, essentially when they start their journey with through your website here. And this is an example where if I came in net new, and I can basically filter here of what opportunities that may be tied to cuisine or community service. I can create an account if I wanted to, but it ultimately is being managed through our back end, which is here, that people will have access to, and then the data here. So that's what I wanted to kind of share with you guys today. Through, I went screaming through that. I don't expect you to retain it all, but I just wanted to close out here with the last few minutes here to answer any additional questions. But I'll also call it the fact that our team is also an expo too. So those are areas that we're open to additional conversations and just learning more about what we can help do with your platforms and organizations there. And I'll leave with this slide here. Oh, sorry, Heather. I'll close out here with some key takeaways here more than anything. So this is, again, why we're partnering with Blackbaud, why folks are partnering with us, and how we can help your team out in whatever ways that's important to you. So we want to provide that level of, cutting down automation or, any of those levels of integrations, automations, real-time constituent overview, and really ultimately providing levels of ROI at every turn. And here's some of the case studies that we have too, that folks have been, leveraging our teams. And this is essentially my contact info, if you need to reach out to me for additional information. And we're also, I'll be over in Expo 2, room 2 there, for those who would like more information. We've got our head of engineer and a couple of our other key team members there throughout the next couple of days. And if you missed the days halfway through or not, we'll be back tomorrow and the next day too.